Meet our first speaker, Oleksiy Shut, solution architect at Elcor. Oleksiy is a technical expert with over 8 years of experience in IT distribution. He is certified by AWS, Microsoft, Cisco, VMware, Hitachi, HP, Dell, and other world's largest IT companies. Oleksiy is also a certified instructor, Cisco Network Academy. He shares his experiences on cloud adoption with other developers all around the world. Don't forget to ask your questions in the chat during the Oleksiy's talk. And hi, Oleksiy, welcome. And
Hi.
I'm handing it over to you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I don't know how to start share my presentation. Okay. So, my presentation will be about our journey in migration to cloud, how we do it, why we do it, and what obstacles we encounter in this journey. So, firstly, couple seconds about our company. Our company is IT distributor. So we basically not a IT company. We are sales company, and everything's about sales. So not big IT department. No, not IT not our main focus, and so on. So we are fairly distributed company. We have offices at 12 countries. In each country is a local office with some local IT infrastructure, and we have a lot of employees. At the time, let's move to the next slide. So about our infrastructure as it was before we move into cloud. Main reason why and what we move in cloud was Microsoft Dynamic ERP. We changed our ERP system basically a year ago. It was 2015 year. So a year ago we changed our ERP, which was actually if somebody interested, Axapta was a name of this ERP, but it was brought by Microsoft and rewritten from ground up and sold to us as a next gen ERP system, which is client server oriented and best in the tech world and so on. Yeah. And we are basically implementing additional stuff on this WordPress system and do it in a flight. So it was our main focus for IT standpoint of view. It's draft a lot of resources from our side, a lot of attention, and so on. Main application again, Axapta. We also had a lot of different other application. Mainly it was Windows application, but also a Linux one. Second by importance, it's a local account and tax calculation software. It was kind of mess because every country have a different local laws, and so we had a different system in each country, and they work differently. They maintained by different teams, outsourced. So it it's not it's not easy to support this kind of stuff. As client software, we use Microsoft Office, and as general at that time we use Microsoft Remote Desktop Service for our user to access all software. So basically, user login to laptop, and from laptop login to terminal server and work with everything. It was like that. a lot of custom software, because a lot of reporting stuff, a lot of additional stuff for our business, and it was handwritten and totally custom. And we use network file share for our users to them able to share and store their file, and it was a primary storage for users' files. We deny users to store files locally. We also had a Microsoft Active Directory, which were geo-distributed, and not a single piece of our software were cloud aware. So it was long ago, and even right now, cloud aware software is not a thing that you meet in every day. It's just a business software which belongs to servers, racks, and so on. In terms of hardware, all our hardware was, from server perspective, it was Hewlett-Packard with a mix of rack servers and blade servers. In terms of storage, we use mix of Hewlett-Packard and IBM storages. All our network infrastructure was built on Cisco hardware. As virtualization platform, we use VMware, and we have only one admin for basically 400 users in all our countries. The reason why, because our admin is really efficient and good, and we don't have a lot of IT systems, just a couple of them, and it was fine. Again, a year was 2015. So why we start to think about moving to cloud at that time? A couple of reasons, and the reason first, it's called a flexibility of computing infrastructure and performance. So flexibility is crucial, and it's painful for business to hear we don't have hardware capacity to start new application. Please wait a month at least till we buy and deliver it. And we, a distributor, we can expedite this process as fast as we can. We do it. Our main point to be as distributor to do it well, yeah. And this is painfully for business to hear this. So this is was an issue with current setup. Next was increase in expenses and for hardware maintenance and servicing, and I have an actual story about this one. If somebody remember Hewlett-Packard EVA storages, we had one, and it was actually painful for our business to hear about problem with it, because when we start losing the disks from EVA storage, we find out that we unable to buy them in any way, and replacing it was costly and not fast, and we spent like a month about trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, and it was unpleasant experience for business. I saw a pain on their faces when they speak about it. It was terrible. And third point, uninterrupted operation and fault tolerance. It's it's kind of simple, and it's kind of simple to explain that in our case, we actually don't have it. Basically, we are a sales company, and we don't focus on IT. So at time being, our all our IT equipment were in 4 racks. 2 racks at office, at main office where company was started, and 2 racks of hardware in our warehouse, which was built like a year ago. We own our own big warehouse to distribute all stuff between countries. So basically, we have zero resiliency because no such thing like security or additional power lines or something like that. And it was not good because on working of IT equipment depend work of all our offices and all our countries. If we lost our internet or we lost our power and shut down, every else in every office in 12 countries stop work. And it's bad. It's bad. It's risks, but what we can do with it, and basically. Our business owner decides that we need to move to cloud. And actual quote from our business owner: "I have a dream. One day I will wake up and we won't own any servers." It's actual quote. So basically, why we move in cloud? Because we were driven by our business owner. So we choose between 3 main paths. One is Amazon Web Services. Second, it's classic colocation when you put your equipment and somebody else data center. And third, you are just renting servers, IT equipment, and so on. Basically, at start, business was focused only on Amazon Web Services, and to other competitors, we start to discuss them only after strong opposition from our system administrator. He hate clouds with all his old school sysadmin soul. So it was pushback from IT. let's call it like that. And basically, it was all our options. We cannot live like we lived before. We need to do something with file tolerance, with security, and so on. So okay, we can build all our own data center, but it's not a productive way to spend your time and money for sales company. It's not our business, and we don't want to do it. So basically, all 3 options. Yeah, and for these 3 options, we calculate TCO. So how we calculate the TCO? It was simple. We take all our vCPUs, which we use currently, all our storage, which we use currently, our network costs, our service cost, and get some ballpark estimate. And by the way, if you calculate TCO for cloud, don't do it like that. Never do it like that. And I want you to write in comments how and how you must do it and why you don't need to do it this way. And in our case, it was kind of interesting result. Collocation win in our case. Our cost for collocation scenario was like 2 times lower than other 2. Why? Because we are distributor and because we have a relationship with vendor, we got access to not for sales programs. which provide a huge amount of discount. And collocation in terms of money win in every possible way. We cannot deny it. And AWS and renting servers in some third-party data center came closely. AWS was somewhat cheaper, but not a big difference to be a decision maker in this case. And I was kind of surprised to hear from our business that okay, it's cheaper, but we are prepared to pay more. And why they want to pay more? Because it provides some benefits. Yes, and benefits from business perspective, it's because they choosing between capex, when you buy something and own it and pay in full at start, and the OPEX model, when you transform your CAPEX to OPEX, to recurring payments. And for business, OPEX is much better. They prefer it, and they want to deal with such type of consumption and try to limit capital expenditures at all cost, because it's simpler to plan, simple to do ownership of this stuff, and so on. Scalability with increased workloads. And actually, I have another story about this. Not so long ago, our programmer who wrote all our software find a nice model which look at previous prices of stuff which we have sold, and do some calculation and predicts which prices must be used to maximize profit. And he got approved to try it on our data, and for this we need a Hadoop cluster. And Hadoop cluster are not smallest things in the world, and for that we actually use AWS before, so we don't have a place for Hadoop cluster at our current hardware, so we use a cloud to do it. And it was really nice because we spin up Hadoop cluster, try it, get some results, decide that okay, it's not what we want to do, and we just shut it down. And if we go with classic route, we must buy hardware for that, and then don't use it because we don't need it anymore. And this is serious point. And we got additional reliability and data security. Why? Because when in collocation something goes wrong, you rely on staff at collocation side and staff which perform maintenance of your hardware. And this is risk, and this is hard to predict. And our business had a lot of stories about our own local hardware, which doesn't make them happy. So in case of AWS, you offload all these risks, all this responsibility to AWS, and reduce your needs to maintain something and own something. So if we look at what we must build to move our main workload Axapta, it was something like that. It's a best practice. It looks nice enough, simple enough, and what problem we can encounter? It's done thousands of times. Yeah. No, it was not. It wasn't easy. It wasn't expected. And actually, we built something else, our own architecture, our own solution to our own problem. So what we do? First problem which we encounter that our system administrator love VMware with all his soul. He refused to use AWS for creating images, actually. So we find that there are AWS Server Migration Connector service, which is basically VM, which you deploy on your VMware cluster, and it allows you to move seamlessly a VMware workload to cloud and back. And this is actually provide us some flexibility and easy to deploy and redeploy stuff. So we can spin up something at our local data center and then move it to cloud, look how it works, and if we were unsatisfied with the results, we can move it back without redeploying from ground up. And I have a question again for audience. What is wrong with this slide? On this slide, something wrong. And if you write your thoughts about it in comments, I will be it will be interesting. So after that, we had issue with Microsoft license. What kind of issues? We had a lot of licenses which we buy from Microsoft, and we don't want to buy it again. We want to migrate them to AWS, and it was not a straightforward process. So basically, we had two options with that. First option, it was using license mobility through software assurance. Basically, what this means, you get a form, standard form from Microsoft, you fill it out, and then you sign it at Microsoft local office. And then this signed form upload to AWS, and AWS enable a tick in your account that you can use licenses which you brought before according to this form. Problem with this was it was 2015 year, and our and we're a distributor. We have a contract with Microsoft. I personally can call local country manager, and when we ask about it, local office of Microsoft was like, what? First time I heard about it, have no idea how to do it. We don't have a process. So they, they were kind of surprised that we find out something about that. So it took us about 3 months to push it over Microsoft and to force them to do it. But in the end, we decided to move with dedicated host because it was simpler for us and provide additional benefits of being able to actually use not only Microsoft licenses which we own, but licenses for other products which we own on AWS. Basically, what is a dedicated host? You buy a hardware wall server on AWS, and it's yours, and you can deploy anything you want on it, and you are responsible for a license compliance on this host. And this is a really nice solution for some strangely licensed software, and it was good for us. Next, we got issue with network connection. Basically, we had our on-prem infrastructure, we had our cloud infrastructure, and we need to build some kind of VPN between them. And because our system administrator is a Cisco guy. He wants to have a nice Cisco-like solution, and we find that in our case, Cisco ASA V on AWS is best. Because it's allow our administrator use familiar instrument for building VPN. It allow us to build distributed VPN with mesh architecture. And why we don't use actually Amazon VPN service? Because when you use it and you have more than one location, you pay for every location which you deploy VPN, and it become costly. Or you must build infrastructure in a way that you are moving traffic to some your on-premise location, and then from this on-premise location you distribute your traffic between your all other locations. So basically, ASAV for in our case was cheaper and better in terms of maintenance management and familiarity of our administrator. So we choose this one. And again, it doesn't compromise availability because we can deploy active solution and get a nice, secure, and highly available solution. Next roadblock we hit hard, and it was kind of unexpected. So we were sold, Axapta was sold to us as a nice state-of-art software piece, client-server architecture. And main point of sales guys who sold it to us that it's so cool, it's so good that you don't need a big server for Axapta because it had nice caching and client processing features which allow calculate almost everything on client, and you don't need big server because of that. And it was a client, thick client, server application, and database, Microsoft SQL Server database. And we bought it, and we believe in that. And the initial plan was that we are deploying client on our users' laptops, and server up where will be in cloud. And initial plan was like that, but we find out that somehow client-server architecture in Microsoft terms means that client and server must be in the same network. And if you have latency more than 2 milliseconds, everything's broke and don't work as expected. It was terrible to find out at this stage, and it was really unexpected for us. But okay, we must do something with it. So basically, we had three competitors. We had remote desktop from Microsoft. We had Upstream Point from AWS, and we have Citrix. Upstream point oh was terrible. It was hard to use and difficult to maintain, and even AWS thinks thinks same way because they released new product Amazon Upstream 2.0. RDS was kinda nice, but it was painfully slow to work because our servers were in Irlandia and clients were all overseas. So latency was kind of high, and working through remote desktop was not perfect solution. And we try Citrix, and it was a winner because at that time Citrix had a best algorithms, best solution for remote work, and it was not the cheapest solution, but when business see a difference between work through RDS and work through Citrix, they decide to pay for Citrix. So we initially pay for Citrix solution, and as a bonus, we got a lot of additional stuff as monitoring, kind of free, built-in Citrix, ability to scale our nodes with client client's hardware or with client software. So basically, Citrix have a solution that allows you to spin up and spin down your machines automatically, and it was nice and great solution. And after some time, when Amazon released Upstream 2.0, we also implement Upstream as remote access solution, and it's used right now in our head side of IT staff as backup, but our users can choose which solution Citrix or Upstream using. And funny enough, every guy who use Mac use Upstream because Upstream had a better integration with Macs. I don't know why, but this is how it's work right now. Okay, next, we had a problem, and problem was that some our software required Windows authentication, KRBOS, and so on. So without it, our user asked couple of times about user password, and it was annoying. So we need to deploy AWS at AWS Microsoft AD. And same time, we start to migrate from on-prem Office software to cloud offering from Microsoft Office 365. And again, it's drive us to using AWS Directory Service as nice managed solution. In the end, we build nice best practice infrastructure, something like that, with on-premise directories, with AWS Microsoft AD directory in cloud, and with connector to Azure AD, which is right now Entra AD. Nothing new here, but our system administrator really likes this solution. We don't decommission our on-premise Active Directory. I will explain why later, but our solution is something like that. Next roadblock, next issue what we get when we start to work was like our users start to complain about speed of access to their files. Again, we use network drive to provide files to our users, and it was not very fast. So we use AWS Storage Gateway with cached volumes to overcome this issue. So basically, what it do, when files stored in AWS, when it first requested from some local location, it cached at this location on particular storage gateway, and and next access much faster because it accesses local cached file. So it was really nice that AWS had this solution. We already have some on-prem infrastructure at our local offices, so it wasn't too hard to implement this. Next part, database, and it was funny. At start, we use MS SQL deployed by our outstaffers who managed our ERP system. So it was just in EC2 instance without any maintenance and so on. But we have two problems with this setup. First, we don't have SQL DBA. We just don't have it. And second, after some time, base become bigger, and the database backup doesn't complete overnight. So it's become an issue for us. So we try to do something about it, and we got a funny solution. We migrate to Amazon RDS service, and basically offload problems with backup performance to AWS, because when we cannot change amount of data which we are backupping, and we need to do it fast. So basically we got two in one. We solve our problem with backup speed. We got to us a nice active cluster with minimal administration, with helpers, with performance insight and so on, with updates seamlessly without downtime and so on. So it was unexpected but funny solution. Fast forward in a couple of years, and we start hit a bottleneck, and the bottleneck because of design of ERP, particularly database in ERP. So database become unbelievably slow, and we don't have any idea why. So when you hit database performance issues, you can do basically three things. First one, you can upscale your database, so just buy bigger instance. But in our case, CPU and memory were fine. Not our CPU and memory issues. It was a disk performance issues. Second, what you can do, you can optimize your database, but for us it was hard because we don't have a DBA. And so basically, what we decide to do, we start buying more and more provisioner IOPS to improve performance of database. And at some time, our bill of database storage became like 40% of our total bill at AWS, and it was not good. So we decide to look closely and find out that actually is problem in that Axapta use database table in database called tempdb. and it uses it really frequently, and the performance bottleneck is this particular table tempdb. So our solution was to move our database on EC2 dedicated instances with instance store, where you got instance with NVMe drive connected locally, and move this particular table to NVMe disk. And storage is ephemeral. It doesn't back up, and if something goes wrong or machine is restarted, everything lost. But from name tempdb, you can guess that it's not a problem for this case, and as a side effect of these changes, we hire a special ERP guy whose sole responsibility was to maintain ERP, to make sure that everything fine, to look for bottlenecks and fix them from software perspective, or tell us how to fix it from hardware perspective. So about disaster recovery, how we solve this? In our case, it's very simple. We use AWS backup service for native services. It's very simple and nice, but it supports only AWS native services. For application-aware backup, we use Vim to backup everything, and we use Vim as a tool for disaster recovery. Vim have a nice feature which allows spin up your infrastructure from backup in other places. So we can spin up all our infrastructure in other cloud, in other account on the AWS or on our on-premise infrastructure using Vim. All our backups, at least important one, are stored at two places. Main storage at S3, and we had a primary, and we have a copy on-premise storage system. As part of this strategy to be able to move from and back from different infrastructure, we had all our application images, which we are using in AWS, saved as images in VMware cluster. So in cases if anything goes wrong, we can spin up same infrastructure with same data on our on-premise infrastructure and work in this setup for a while. So did we move everything in cloud? No. So dream of our business owner doesn't came true as always, but we move a lot of things that stay on-prem. It's a warehouse and office surveillance system. It's no point to move it, no benefits, only issues. And we left on-prem our access control system to provide access to offices and to cloud, to warehouse. We left on-prem our phone system because no point in moving phone system in cloud, because we got issues with latencies, with quality of sound in our phone system. And basically right now we almost decommissioned our local phone system and moved to integration between Microsoft Teams and local phone system through trunk. We all we of course we left all our network equipment on-prem, and a real question from our CEO: why do we need router? Yes, we need them. We need our local infrastructure in any way. You cannot just move everything in cloud. it's not practical. And we left our servers with Microsoft Active Directory because we have our access system, we have our surveillance system, and both of them requires connect to local Microsoft Active Directory, and it's help us. So basically, that's all from my side. I will stop speaking and waiting to our moderator to continue.
Thank you, Oleksiy, for this insightful talk.